Welcome to DYK-TV News, where news breaks first and the stories that matter are brought straight to you.
Stay informed with the latest updates, in-depth analysis, and breaking news from around the world.
DYK-TV News. Fast, accurate, unstoppable.
DYK-TV News. Fast, accurate, unstoppable.
A life cut short, the discovery. This is a story that will forever haunt the small town of Bern, Indiana. November 27, 2024. Bern, Indiana. A date and place that will be etched in the memories of its residents. A day that began like any other but ended in unimaginable tragedy. A frantic 911 call, sirens wailing, a community forever scarred. The town, known for its tranquility, was suddenly thrust into chaos. Police arrived at a modest apartment complex. The scene was chaotic, with neighbors peeking through their windows, trying to understand what was happening. The call? A child not breathing. The dispatcher's voice trembled as they relayed the information to the responding officers. Inside, a scene of unimaginable horror awaited them. The officers, seasoned and new alike, were unprepared for the sight that met their eyes. In a small, cluttered bedroom, inside a closet, lay 2-year-old Zaylin Hershey, lifeless. The room, filled with toys and clothes, now felt eerily silent. Her tiny body, still in its crib, had succumbed to the stifling heat. The space heater, meant to provide warmth, had become a silent killer. The temperature? A horrifying 109.4 degrees Fahrenheit. The paramedics, despite their best efforts, knew it was too late. Unfit for life, a home of neglect. This apartment complex from the outside already tells a story of abandonment and decay. The walls are cracked and the windows are grimy, hinting at the horrors that lie within. The apartment itself painted a grim picture of neglect. Trash overflowed from bins, spilling onto the floor and creating a hazardous environment. The smell of rotting food and waste was overwhelming, making it difficult to breathe. Soiled diapers littered the floor, adding to the unsanitary conditions. The sight was enough to turn anyone's stomach, and the thought of children living in such filth was heartbreaking. The stench of feces hung heavy in the air, a constant reminder of the neglect and abandonment. Flies buzzed around, attracted to the filth, creating an even more unbearable atmosphere. This was no place for a child. The empty crib, surrounded by trash and filth, stood as a silent testament to the neglect. It was a heartbreaking sight, a symbol of innocence lost in a sea of squalor. The closet where Zaylin was found was like an oven. The small, confined space, combined with the heat from the space heater, created a deadly environment. It was a place of unimaginable suffering. A space heater, on high, had transformed the small space into a death trap. The heat was unbearable, and there was no escape. It was a cruel and inhumane situation. The rest of the apartment offered no escape from the squalor. Every room was filled with clutter and filth, creating a hazardous environment. There was no safe space, no refuge from the neglect. It was a breeding ground for disease and despair. The conditions were ripe for illness, and the emotional toll was evident. The apartment was a place of hopelessness and misery. Yet, this is where Zaylin and her 2 siblings were forced to exist. They lived in constant fear and discomfort, surrounded by filth and neglect. Their childhood was stolen, replaced by a daily struggle for survival in a place unfit for anyone, let alone innocent children. A parent's reckoning facing justice. The story of Zaylin Perez is one that has shaken the community to its core. It's a tale of heartbreak, negligence, and the pursuit of justice. Cynthia Perez and Jace Hershey, Zaylin's parents, were at home when the police arrived. The officers were responding to a call that would change everything. Their explanation, a chilling tale of indifference. The officers listened as the parents recounted their actions, or rather their inactions. They had placed Zaylin in her crib the night before with the space heater on. The room was small, and the heater was powerful. They didn't check on her for almost 24 hours. The clock ticked away, each second a testament to their neglect. Their actions, or lack thereof, cost Zaylin her life. The weight of their decisions now hangs heavy over them. They now face charges of neglect resulting in death. Justice for Zaylin is the goal, but the path to it is fraught with emotional turmoil. It's what the prosecutors seek. They are determined to ensure that the parents are held accountable for their actions. It's what her memory demands. The community has come together to remember Zaylin, their hearts heavy with grief. But can any sentence truly reflect the magnitude of their failure? The courtroom awaits the final verdict, a decision that will echo through the lives of all involved. Silent suffering, the other children. Zaylin's death exposed a deeper, more disturbing truth. 2 other children, ages 3 and 5, were also living in that nightmare. They too bore the marks of neglect. Lice infested their hair. Their bodies showed signs of malnourishment. These children, robbed of their sister, are now wards of the state. They are the hidden victims, forever marked by the horrors they witnessed. Every second counts, a call to action. Zaylin's story is a tragic reminder that child abuse often hides in plain sight. It's a stark call to action. We cannot remain silent. If you suspect a child is in danger, act. Don't hesitate. Don't assume someone else will make the call. Your call could be the difference between life and death. For a child like Zaylin, it was already too late. Let her death not be in vain. Let it be a catalyst for change, for awareness, for action.